Today we'll be doing the YLOC 3rd grade worksheet, lesson number 15. And to start off, we're going to be finding the elapsed time using a clock. For number 1, we can start off by seeing it says it starts at 10:15 or 10:10 and it ends at 11:40 a.m. So since a.m. stays the same, so we know that it doesn't go past 12, we can just subtract it since it's easier for us to find the elapsed time. So here we know 40 minus 10 is 30. And we know that 11 minus 10 is 1. So we know that 1:30 has passed, and we can translate this to 1 hour and 30 minutes. So from 10:10 a.m. to 11:40 a.m., we know that 1 hour and 30 minutes has passed. For number 2, we can do the same thing. We see that it's 7:15 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., so we know that it has not passed 12. So then we can just subtract again. So we know that 30 minus 15 is 15. And then 9 minus 7 is 2. So we know that 2:15 has passed, and we can translate that to 2 hours and 15 minutes has passed. For number 6, we see with the same thing as it starts at 10:45 a.m., but this time it goes past 12:25 and it goes into p.m. So to make it easier for ourselves, let's change this 10:45 to 11. So we can add 15 first. So this becomes 11. And then now we see that 11, we can just add 25, so this becomes 40. And then we know that 12 minus 11 is 1. So we know that 1:40 has passed. And that 1:40 translates to 1 hour and, 1 hour and 40 minutes. For number 7, here we see that it goes from 11:25 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. So that means that it's past 12. So that means we can just, to make it easier, we can use 12 first. So we can say that from 1:30, we know that 1:30 has passed from 12. So right now it's at 12 o'clock. We have 1:30. And from this side, here we have 25. So we can do 60 minus 25, which equals 35. And we can add 35 to 1:30, which gets us 2:05, which translates to 2 hours and 5 minutes. For moving on, we have find the end time using a clock. And we can look at number 1 saying it starts off at 8:10 a.m. and the elapsed time is 1 hour and 25 minutes. So to make it easier for ourselves, we're going to add the minutes first. So we do 10 plus 25, which equals 8:35. And we're going to add our 1 hour, so this changes the 8 to 9. So the end time is 9:35 a.m. For number 2, we see here the same thing. We're going to add 20 first. So 20 plus 40 is 60. So that turns it to 7 o'clock or 7 a.m. We can add our 1 hour, which turns it to 8 a.m. for number 2. For number 6, it's also the same thing. So we're going to add 30, which to 45, which gets us 75, which equals 12:15. And we're going to add 1 hour, which becomes 1:15. And since it passes 12 and it goes from AM, that means we're going to change the time to PM. So it ends at 1:15 PM. Lastly, for number 7, here we can do the same thing where we add 45 and 10, which gets us 10:55. And we can add our 1 hour, which turns this into 1, and our end time is 11:55 AM. On to the next page, here we have complete the table of Amy's schedule. So looking at the schedule, we have her activity, her time, and her elapsed time. And we're here for number 1. We're trying to find the elapsed time of her eating snacks. So here we have the time 3:45 p.m. to 4:05 p.m., which to make it easier for ourselves, we can just add 15 to 3, which makes it 4, and we see there's 5 extra minutes, so we can just add another 5 minutes, and that gets us 20. So we know that 20 minutes has passed, so her snack time is 20 minutes. For her doing homework, it's 4:05 to 5:10 p.m. And so we can just drop the 405 under the 510, which gets us 105, which equals 1 hour and 5 minutes. For number 3, here it tells us the elapsed time this time, but does not tell us the time that it ends at. So to solve for number 3, we're gonna just add 25 to 510. So we show a drop of 25 under here, and that makes number 3 become 5:35 p.m. Let me write it down here so it's a little easier. Here we have for number 1, it's 20 minutes. For number 2, it's 1 hour and 5 minutes. And for number 3, it ends at 5:35 p.m. Moving on to the last page of the word problems. Here we have number 1 where it says C needs at least 25 minutes to get ready for school. If he leaves for school at 7:15, what is the latest he can start getting ready? So since he needs at least 25 minutes and the latest he can leave, or he leaves school at 7:15, we're gonna subtract 25 minutes from 7:15. So let's subtract 15 first to get this into 7 o'clock, which leaves this 25 into 10, and we subtract 10 minutes from 7 o'clock, which gets us 6:50 a.m. The latest he can leave is 6:50 a.m. before, because at least he needs at least 25 minutes. For number 2, it says it takes Zach 31 minutes to walk a dog, and it takes Rebecca half an hour to walk a dog. Who has a longer walk? So, since we know that Zach takes 31 minutes to walk a dog, and it takes Rebecca half an hour, we can just convert 1 hour to 60 minutes, and we know half an hour is divided by 2, which turns this into 30 minutes. And when comparing it, we know that 31 is greater than 30, so we know that Zach has a longer walk.